You know, when you're in your 70s, 80s, or even beyond, travel looks very different than it used to. I smile when I think back to my 20s, hopping on trains with nothing but a backpack, not a care in the world. By my 40s, I was dragging kids through airports, juggling strollers, suitcases, and half-pack snacks. But once I crossed into my 70s, traveling began to feel like another kind of adventure, one that required more thought, more patience, and honestly, more humility. People often ask me, why still travel at your age? And my answer is simple, because the world still has beauty to offer. But here's the truth. I've also discovered that traveling after 70 carries dangers that aren't talked about much. Some of them can sneak up on you. Others can catch you completely off guard. Today, I want to share 5 lessons, 5 hidden dangers that I've come to understand. And I don't share them to scare you. I share them the way a grandfather or grandmother might lean across the table, lower their voice and say, "Now listen closely. This one's important." Lesson 1. Your body has its own agenda. I'll never forget the first time my body really reminded me that I was no longer 50. I was 72 on a trip to Rome. I had dreamed of walking those cobblestone streets my whole life. The first day, I walked miles, eager to see every fountain, every piazza. But by evening, my legs throbbed, my back ached, and I had blisters the size of coins on my heels. In my younger years, I would have bounced back overnight. But the next morning, I could hardly move. The frustration was real. I had waited decades for this trip, and suddenly, my body seemed to betray me. That's when I learned. After 70, you don't push your body, you partner with it. You take breaks, you pace yourself. You trade see it all for savor what I see. And strangely, it made my trips better. Sitting at a cafe, sipping coffee slowly, watching the world pass by. That's when I started noticing the little details. The way sunlight hit the stones. The sound of laughter from children nearby. Things I might have missed in my rush. So the first danger is simple. Overestimating what your body can do. But the blessing hidden inside it? Learning to slow down. And in slowing down, discovering a deeper kind of joy. Lesson 2, the medication maze. Let me tell you about my friend Harold. He's the kind of man who always had his suitcase ready by the door, eager for the next adventure. But once, when we traveled together in our late 70s, he left his blood pressure pills in his checked luggage. The bag got lost. 3 days later, Harold fainted in a hotel lobby. It shook me deeply. A tiny mistake, a pill bottle in the wrong bag, could have cost him his life. That's why I now carry all my medicines with me, in a small pouch in my hand luggage. I also carry extra copies of prescriptions, in case I need to refill them abroad. And I always bring more than I need, because trips rarely go exactly as planned. The danger isn't just forgetting your medicine. It's underestimating how vital they become to your daily rhythm. When we were younger, missing a vitamin didn't matter. But at 70 plus, these little pills often keep our heart steady, our joints working, our minds clear. They're not accessories. They're lifelines. So I say this with love. Treat your medicines with the same care you'd give to your passport. Because, in a way, they are your passport to independence, to safety, to peace of mind while traveling. Lesson 3, the risk of falling. There's a story I don't often tell, but maybe it's worth sharing here. I was 80 years old, walking through a market in Lisbon. The ground was uneven, full of cobblestones polished smooth by centuries of footsteps. My foot caught on one of them, and down I went. The fall wasn't dramatic, no broken bones, but I scraped my knee badly and couldn't get up right away. A kind young man helped me to my feet, and as I stood there, brushing dust from my jacket, a wave of realization hit me. A single fall could change everything. You see, when you're young, a fall is a story you laugh about later. When you're older, a fall can mean weeks of recovery, maybe even the loss of independence. So I made changes. I bought shoes with strong grip. I started carrying a lightweight cane on long trips, even if I didn't always need it. And I gave myself permission to walk slower, without shame. Falling isn't just about clumsiness. It's about pride, too. We don't want to look fragile, so we push ourselves. But pride won't catch you if you stumble. Wisdom will. Lesson 4, loneliness on the road. I've traveled alone many times, and I'll be honest, it can get lonely. When you're younger, solo travel feels adventurous. But when you're older, it can sometimes feel isolating. I remember sitting in a cafe in Paris once. The city was alive, people laughing, couples strolling hand in hand. And there I was, sipping my coffee, feeling like a ghost in the middle of it all. That night, I promised myself something. Never let loneliness take away the joy of travel. So now I reach out more. I join group tours. I strike up conversations with fellow travelers. I call my grandchildren in the evenings. I take pictures and send them to family so they can travel with me, even from afar. Loneliness is a hidden danger, but it's also an invitation to connect, to open up, to share your journey instead of keeping it locked inside. Lesson 5, the unexpected costs. Here's the last lesson, and it's one that took me a while to accept. Travel at this age can be unpredictable and expensive in ways you don't expect. Once, on a trip to Canada, my flight home was canceled. I had to stay 3 extra nights in a hotel, rebook my flight, and pay fees I hadn't budgeted for. Years earlier, I would have shrugged it off. But in retirement, every dollar counts. That's why I now keep a little travel cushion. Money set aside just for emergencies. It's not for souvenirs or fancy dinners. It's for peace of mind. Because knowing you can handle the unexpected removes a huge layer of stress. The danger is thinking everything will go smoothly. The wisdom is preparing for the bumps, so when they come, they don't knock you down. So, my dear friends, those are the 5 hidden dangers I've learned about traveling after 70. They're real, yes, but they don't mean you have to stop traveling. If anything, they invite you to travel more wisely, with patience, care, and gratitude. Traveling in these later years isn't about rushing to check boxes off a list. It's about savoring, connecting, and embracing the world at a slower, gentler pace. I'd love to hear from you. What lessons have you learned about traveling in later life? Have you or someone you love faced any of these challenges? Please share your stories in the comments below. And if my words have touched you today, I'd be grateful if you liked this video, subscribe, and share it with others. Not for me. I've lived a long life filled with adventures. But for the next traveler who might just need a little wisdom before they set out. Because in the end, travel isn't about how far you go. It's about how deeply you see and how fully you cherish the journey.